alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Sohail and you are watching Arakan Times Daily English News. Today is Thursday, 6th February 2025. Today's news headlines. Bangladesh says Rohingya crisis is a global issue that must be resolved. Rohingya men injured in Landmine explosion in Mongdo. Terrorist Arakan Army AA and the misuse of Western media in spreading misinformation. Details of today's news. The prolonged Rohingya crisis is not only a heavy burden for Bangladesh but also a global issue that could threaten the entire region if left unresolved, said Foreign Affairs Advisor Tauhid Hussain according to Bangladesh-based BSS News. Most people think the Rohingya crisis is Bangladesh problem, but in reality it is a global issue. If the Rohingya issue is not resolved, it will become a challenge not only for Bangladesh but for the whole region, he stated. Tauhid Hussain asked the international community to step up support for the Rohingya, warning that the US government's recent funding cuts could worsen the humanitarian crisis. Foreign aid for over 1 million Rohingya refugees is already declining. If the US proceed with further funding cuts, the situation will deteriorate, he cautioned. He also highlighted Myanmar's ongoing civil war and predicted potential political changes in the country. Regarding the repatriation of the forcibly displaced Rohingya, he stressed that ethnic and civilian leaders negotiating with Myanmar's military should include Rohingya citizenship and fundamental rights in their discussion. Repatriation is the only long-term solution for the Rohingya crisis, Tauhid Hussain emphasized. The situation worsened after July last year, as intensified clashes between the Myanmar military and the Arakan Army AA forced more Rohingya to flee into Bangladesh. A Rohingya man was seriously wounded in a landmine explosion in Mongdo Township, Arakan State, Myanmar. The injured man has been identified as Muhammad Junaid, son of Nurul Haq, a resident of Guna Hamlet in Shweza District, Mongdo Township. On February 5, at approximately 6:30 a.m., he was injured in the explosion while going to wash his face in the morning inside his compound. Muhammad Junaid woke up at 6:30 a.m. and was going to wash his face near a water tank in his compound when a landmine suddenly exploded, injuring him, said a source. Reports indicate that Junaid sustained several injuries, with one of his legs completely severed from his body. He also suffered multiple injuries and is in critical condition. Additionally, Khurshid Alam, son of Muhammad Yusuf, was injured in another landmine explosion in Guna Hamlet, Shweza District on January 29 at around 7 p.m. while descending from his home into the compound. A local source stated, since December 8, 2024, the genocidal military junta has been absent, and Mongdo is now entirely controlled by the terrorist Arakan Army AA. The terrorist Arakan Army AA has intentionally planted numerous landmines in several parts of Mongdo, particularly in and around Rohingya residential areas, targeting Rohingya civilians while blaming the incidents on others. The Arakan Army AA, a group designated as a terrorist organization by Myanmar's government and several international bodies, has been leveraging Western media platforms to spread misleading and often harmful narratives, particularly against the Rohingya refugee population. In the complex landscape of Myanmar's ethnic and political conflicts, the Rohingya have long been subjected to persecution, including mass displacement and violence. However, rather than drawing attention to this humanitarian crisis, the terrorist Arakan Army AA's narratives, fueled by selective and misleading information, are exacerbating division and hostility. By portraying the Rohingya refugees in a negative light, the terrorist Arakan Army AA seeks to further its own political agenda, often at the expense of those who are already marginalized and oppressed. Western media, often driven by the need for compelling stories, sometimes inadvertently amplifies this skewed perspective without critically examining the sources or motivations behind them. This misuse of media channels can shape global opinions, distorting the true nature of the Rohingya's plight and deflecting attention from the real human rights violations being committed in Myanmar. As international audience consumed these narratives, it is crucial to be aware of the forces at play. including the terrorist Arakan Army AS role in spreading disinformation. The need for accurate, balanced reporting is greater than ever, as misinformation not only harms vulnerable communities but also undermines efforts for justice and peace in Myanmar. The Arakan Times team members are heartily thanksgiving to those who are daily watching, sharing, and doing like comments to the news uploaded on YouTube channel and Facebook pages.